I'm very excited. I spoke to both Chantele and Drew on Friday evening about the Challenge All-Stars 3, and we said, listen, we need to get back on here. We love talking about the challenge, and we love having you guys in the live talking to us about the challenge. And there's a lot of news that has dropped for the Challenge 38. So this podcast, this recap or whatever we're doing here today, it's this discussion, I guess, is going to be about the Challenge 38. Drew, I'm going to come over to you. You're the man who's done probably the most preparation, I would say, about the Challenge 38 so far. How are you feeling, I guess, out of 10 overall about the Challenge 38? Are you excited it's coming back? How do you feel about the cast, the theme, and everything? Obviously, we're going to go into more detail, but are you positive, cautious, or negative about what's happening currently on the Challenge 38?
I don't know. I think this is very intriguing. I think the theme is interesting. I don't know how well it will play. I think it's a natural progression of what was like last season with the friendship card being thrown around. Like it was just all over the place. Like it was coupons for Arby's kind of thing. But I think it could be a lot of fun. I think this cast is a mixed bag.
I don't know how to feel about it because like I've been, the last few seasons of the main challenge, I've just kind of been like, not so sure how I feel about some of the casting staples that are now on the series. And so I know that a couple of them aren't going to be returning. So I'm like, I wonder if that's going to shake things up. But then I'm not sure with the people that's going to be their partners, if they're going to be a great addition, but like, then they're still going to be part of like a big alliance. So I'm going to be with you, Chris. Surprise, surprise. I'm going to be cautiously optimistic.
We heard the news just before going live on Friday that Josh was dropped from the season. And I'm obviously thinking that's who you're talking about. I'm excited about the fact that we don't have to see all three of the Big Brother players on the same season again. Outside of, like, what's your thoughts on Josh being dropped and what that will do for this season? And also, who else do you think is a big omission for this season?
I was like, yes, like that's definitely going to change the dynamic and the style of gameplay and like what's going to happen on the season, the fights that are going to happen. It's just, they might be a little bit different than they have been in the last few seasons.
Drew, same question for you. Obviously, I'm assuming you're happy, you're not too upset about not seeing Josh, but, thoughts on Josh being dropped, thoughts on what this does to the season?
I think what came down to it is who production feels like they need for this season to have more viewers. The two people that I think come into my mind when I think of Ride or Die are Casey and Nany. And I think that's what production was like kind of going towards. But I think Casey really stood by and was like, I really want my brother to be my partner. So production wasn't going to push that away from her. And then without CT, and now we know that there is no Wes, it's kind of like Bananas is the big vet name that is coming back onto the show. And he doesn't really have anybody on the season besides Nany. If it became a push or shove between do we need Bananas on the show or Josh on the show, it's just like a no-brainer to production. And I think this is a big reason why Bananas wasn't on All Stars. I think he was originally supposed to be on All Stars. And then with this looming 38, CT maybe wasn't picking up the phone for MTV for a while. And they were like, well, you can either play on All Stars or you can get probably double the money and play for Challenge 38. And he was like, I'll go get my plane ticket now, make it first class, and I'll go train for 38.
Yeah, well, it is the return of the king in a lot of ways. I mean, the guy has won more challenges than anybody else out there. I think it is pretty much between him and CT for greatest of all time. I think that Johnny Bananas would have looked at this and thought, what sort of scenario can I step back into the ring and set myself up best? He wouldn't want to waste his time coming out unless he thought he had a legitimate shot. And being partnered, obviously, with Nany, that's what we're assuming is going to happen this season, that they're going to be partnered with their Ride or Die. If that is the case and he is connected to her, that's going to set him up extremely well. If I look at him, he chose the perfect season, in my opinion, to come back and try and win another title. Drew, I'm going to come over to you first here. What do you think of Laurel stepping back into the game right now? Where does she sit within this house? Does she have connections? And does her status as a legitimate veteran of this game, does that help her here in the early days as she comes in? And also her partner.
The last time we saw her, which was the Challenge 34 War of the Worlds 2, and she was definitely in the side of the house that was against Cara. So she was with the Johnny Banana, she was with the Jordan, she was with the Nani, the Leroys. So I think Laurel is coming in a good position. One, she is a vet. Two, she has those bonds. The last time she played, like I mentioned, was with Bananas and Nani. Laurel is also a huge physical threat. I mean, her reputation precedes her. She has a resume. I mean, if we wanted to see a brawler of an elimination, it would be Laurel versus Casey. Her partner is Jack Maddox. He was on X on the Beach Peak of Love. She never really stayed in the chalet, but Jack did. They seem to have kicked off and had a great friendship, and now they're bringing that friendship into the game. I don't know what Jack can do because, again, X on the Beach isn't that competitive or that like physical of a show. What I've seen on his Instagram is quite impressive. He is definitely putting the work in the gym.
Chantele, what do you think of Laurel coming back? Are you excited about this? Is this up there?
I'm happy to see her come back. I'm happy to see her without Cara Maria. I'm happy to see her have a new friendship that we're going to see develop on 38. And so, yeah, like you're not a biggest fan of her, but I'm happy to see her back. And I'd rather see her back more than a lot of people that get the phone call.
Cara
do
Maria,
want to say that I'm
Yeah, go for
excited
it.
to see Laurel's notebook come back. That's what I'm very excited to see. She's going to make lists. She's checking it twice. She's going to move up her own power rankings in the game, and I'm ready for it.
I want to talk about someone I'm actually really excited to see come back here, Drew. And I know you're going to be excited to see Turbo making another appearance here on the challenge.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see Turbo back. I think I'm more shocked that he's not paired up with Nani, and that he's paired up with somebody completely different. And his partner is going to be his girlfriend, Tamara. When you look her up, many people are saying that she cheated on her boyfriend to get on the show and to be with Turbo, which is very spicy, but that's all I know about her. And I think she's some type of model or something like that. So, I mean, she's gorgeous, but can she keep up with the pace of the game and be a very strong partner for Turbo?
I'm leaving the important question here for you, Chantele. Will anybody copy his walk this season?
Probably. No, actually, nobody will. Nobody will at all. I'm pretty excited to see Turbo. I think I like that somebody that is going to be a competitor that's like not necessarily with the alliance. Like, yes, he'll get some intel from Nani. I'm assuming, I don't know if they're friends again or not friends or what, but like he does have that connection with people that he's played before. I don't really see anybody on this cast being able to take him out in an elimination. And so, but I wonder if people are going to try.
He might have that intimidation factor about him like a CT has. But the only thing here is I'm excited to actually see Turbo in an elimination because in those seasons that he played, he never actually went into an elimination.
Mm-hmm.
But we always saw him be very verbal from the sidelines, giving advice. I do think that he could do well. I think it's going to be very exciting. I do want to talk about the two Survivor players as well that are coming back this season. Obviously, a big Survivor fan myself. I'm assuming they're going to be partners. Chantele, would you agree that most likely we'll see Jay and Michelle as ride or dies?
I am definitely happy that they're going to be at least working together and both being on the season because I do like them both. I was worried that Jay wouldn't come back on the season because a few years ago, he said the N-word in a song, recounting a song. So worried that he wasn't going to come back, but if he is coming back, I'm happy to see him come back. I like the fight in him. I like that he enjoys playing the game. I like that he has a lightness to his gameplay. He's still strategic. He still tries hard. He's still good at certain things. So I think that they could be a really good duo.
I like to see Michelle and Jay back onto the challenge. I, though, think that they are going to be on the wrong side of the numbers as per usual. One, they're Survivor players. Two, they're paired up together. And when we take a look at who Jay is connected with, he's been hanging out with Nelson. But when I look at Nelson and who he could be connected to, it doesn't look that good. So I worry for them. I think that they can be a very strong team. I think they will be strong strategically and in missions or challenges. I'm sorry. The last season still is in my brain calling them missions. Ugh. But I worry for them. I worry for them size wise. I worry for them numbers wise. And I hope that they can make it far. But
yeah, I'm going to put it out there. If Jay makes a final, I think he surprises us. Someone that I was surprised to see this season come in, and we don't have to spend too much time on this, but I was thinking to myself, this person, in my opinion, I'm not overly excited. I know some of the females who watch the show would be very excited that he's back. just because of the muscles and the great chiseled six pack and everything. But I feel like he's had 2 seasons and it hasn't really paid off all that much for him. Nam, what do you guys think about Nam coming back here this season?
I think he already got cut. Didn't he get dropped?
Did he get cut?
Just get dropped again? Somebody even mentioned it in the chat. I thought I heard that his partner, something happened to his partner, and then he got cut.
So I didn't think we were gonna get into that, but apparently he was gonna be partnered up with Emmy, who has done a ton of reality shows in Germany and in other countries, like Secret Story in Spain. A lot of people who had watched that show said that Emmy came in like a firecracker for the first week, then found out that the game wasn't going to go her way. She had really no shot of winning because nobody liked her, and she was ready to quit before she was evicted 5th out of the house. And so coming into this season, I was worried because, one, I don't think they actually met each other before. So they were just partnered up because they have like the same like management group that represents them and their country as well. A lot of people are like, I'm hoping that she'll actually like step it up and not try to quit. And it sounds like she quit. Bad luck.
Nam is not meant for the challenge, completely. It seems. Like,
I don't think so.
Really has had bad luck. And I think you'd have to maybe take it as maybe this isn't the path for you.
I'm going to talk about probably the blandest of bland personalities. What do you guys think about Casey and her chances to go back to back? And do you like the fact that she's going to be playing with her brother? Does this allow for her to play a little bit more loose because she's got one in the bag? Chantele, what do you think about Casey here?
I'm not the biggest fan of Casey just because I find her to be boring, but I am wondering, with having her brother with her, if we're going to see more personality, we're going to see more of who she's comfortable with and what she's like when she's comfortable. She's going to want to protect her brother. I don't know if he's older or younger, but regardless, she's going to want to make sure that he does okay, make sure that people are treating him well, make sure that he has a good experience on the show. And so hopefully with having someone there that is unfamiliar with that type of world, I think it will bring something out in her that would at least be entertaining. At least she will be doing something a little bit actively.
You want to see how she does in the house when she's comfortable? You don't get as comfortable as last season when she did absolutely nothing. She didn't have to worry about going to a single elimination, and she made it all the way to the end. So yeah, she's gonna be real comfortable kicking her feet up and not doing anything. I mean, I'm not excited. I don't think she's gonna play loose. I don't think she knows how to play loose. Get out of here.
Okay, but what if some jealousy stirs up with Nani being paired up with Bananas? Because if you remember when flirting with, I think it was Chase from The Bachelorette, and he was like, and she was like sitting on Bananas' lap, and he was like already treating her like she's his girlfriend, and he didn't really like seeing her flirting with Bananas, and she's like, he's my best friend, like I love him. But they have dated, they have slept together. And I believe that Casey is Nani's first female like lesbian relationship. So I'm wondering if maybe that will come into play, maybe having some jealousy or some friction with Nani spending a lot of time with Bananas. So that could be interesting.
The real question mark for me is where's Amber sitting coming into this season? Has she mend bridges with the likes of Casey, or will she just be enemy number one? Because I feel like she does not fully fit in to the Big Brother Vet Alliance, and there are a lot of people who really don't care for Amber on Big Brother. There was a lot of calling her fake last season. Chantele, what do you think that dynamic will look like coming into this season?
I have to say that I'm excited to see what the dynamic will bring with her being there with her current boyfriend. I like the fact that she's going to have someone that she trusts completely, that looks like he's going to be super fit, that they might be a dynamic duo that can gain some power. I think that if they have some power, she might be able to figure out how she can go up against the Caseys of it all. I do not think that she's going to work with the Big Brother people that have burned her in the past. I think she's learned her lesson. And if Amber decides to pull in, the Michelle and Jay, and pull in maybe the other Big Brother people that are maybe not on the outsides, or like they're new to the game, and be like, no, we have to go against these people, blah, blah, blah. Like if she builds the opposite faction, I would be at an Amber stand.
I really hope what Chantele says happens with her like trying to gather up the rookie numbers, maybe pulling a Wes. I mean, she is bringing in a rookie teammate in, her boyfriend Chauncey. They look to be a super strong pair. Like if we're talking power couple, this is physically a power couple. My worry is that we've seen her twice and it's like same song, old dance type of thing. I don't know how the thing goes. I'm making up my own. She had a rookie alliance on season 36 and then they quickly did not like her and wanted to get away from her, and then come into season 37 where it was a ton of rookies and she didn't get along with much of anybody on that season. So it's going to be interesting to see if her social game can go further, and maybe she worked on that. Maybe she wants to align with other people. I have a sad feeling inside me that it could just be just repeating.
Let's talk about someone that personally I'm kind of not that excited to see them on the show anymore, but I feel like you guys might, and it's Anissa coming back here for another season.
No, I'm just kidding.
Like Chantele, Anissa, what does she still have left to give?
I don't know if she has anything super excited for you, Chris, but I think that Anissa does know some of the same things that Wes knows and Bananas knows, and even to a certain extent, Nani knows about the fact that they're on a TV show. And I think that she might do that instead and be like, oh, wait, let me make good TV so that they want to bring me back.
Anissa, for me now, she's so out of her depth when it comes to the level of competition she is going up against that I would much rather see her in a legitimate OG season or see her transition to All-Stars permanently, even though All-Stars have become something different.
I don't think we're going to see much different than what we've seen the past few seasons. She might make it far because of her social ties, but if she gets far on her social ties, her cues from Tori. But when the game is needing to where you have to call out a friend or an acquaintance or somebody that you even like, you're going to do it to make it farther than them. And that's how I see Anissa going.
Let's talk about her friend Tori. There's a few people here saying that she's on this show to help Tori out a little bit here. Tori is someone that, did really well last season. How do you guys feel about Tori coming into this season?
I don't necessarily care for what she's going to bring to the table. I haven't really enjoyed her storylines. I didn't really like when she switched to the other team last season, and then her fights that she was having with Devin when she was playing for her own team. I didn't really care for that dynamic at all. So if she brings something different, as another person, if she brings something different, I'll be interested.
I actually think that Tori and Devin could be in trouble this season. When we saw Devin, he was making good into the Big Brother Alliance, but we saw him getting really cuddly with Josh. And I think Josh was the glue that helped Devin stick to the Big Brother Alliance with Fessy and Casey. Josh is not there. That buffer is out. And also, who almost won last season but didn't? And that is Tori. Casey is going to have that clocked on her mind. And also, if Devin doesn't come in with a good standings with Bananas, then it's going to spell bad news for both of them. I would be personally excited to see them having to go in over and over and over again and rely on each other to stay in the game.
Yeah, I don't have much more to say on both Devin and Tori, but let's talk about Anissa's partner. So James is going to be Anissa's partner. I don't have any real info or background on him. Drew, you might be the person who's the most prepared. I'm hoping to have some info for us on James and what to expect coming into this season.
They're best friends. That's legit all I know. There's no reality show. I didn't find anything on his past.
I've seen him in maybe her posts, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen posts with him and Anissa and Tori together on Instagram. That's as much as I know about him. Let's talk about someone that is coming back to back. She's just participated here in All-Stars, and she's going to be back. Kayla, I know that I wasn't very high on Kayla coming into All-Stars. She's been performing really well. I think pound for pound, probably the best female. Does help that she's one of the youngest contestants on that season.
She is the youngest.
She is the youngest. There we go. So Kayla coming into the season with her fiance. What do you guys think of the fact that she's coming back to back? Does that mean that she did well in the previous season and production likes her now and wants to involve her more in the show.
I think it's something where they had the idea of the ride or die theme in their head, and then maybe while they were filming All Stars, they were like, hey, just floating this out there. I know you put out a retirement post out there saying that you would probably not come back to the challenge anytime soon, but what if it was a ride or die and you could bring your fiance? And she was like, done deal. Sam Bird is not a huge character by any stretch of the means. He was on Love Island UK. He was fine there. He was on X on the Beach, Peak of Love, where he was fine there.
I'm going to say the best thing about this duo is that he has a British accent. I really like the British accent. My dad's from England, so I appreciate hearing it. And so they find that their humor is funny. But other than that, I'm not really excited about the duo.
Mr. Nelly T is back for another season. Talk to us about your love for Nelson and seeing him back on our screens.
I'm happy Nelson is back. I'm happy that he is going to be on a season with somebody that I've wanted to see on the challenge for years now.
Really?
I think that she could do really great. Yeah, she was on X on the Beach, not X on the Beach, Peak of Love, but X on the Beach, MTV US. She was on Are You the One? It's Nerys. I've heard that she's been wanting to be on the challenge for the longest time, and they just would not put her on. Nelson and Nerys kind of had a fling, dated for a while. That's why they were on X on the Beach together. Maybe she can be his good luck too, and finally get him that daily win he's been looking for.
Chantele, thoughts on Nelly T, having him back? We know you're very 50-50. I feel like you lean towards not liking Nelly T, to be honest, that much.
Well, the reason why I'm not the biggest fan of Nelly T is because of how he sometimes treats the women in this house and how he talks about them or to them and the fights that he gets. I don't appreciate that. But sometimes he redeems himself, and then he's kind of funny or silly in his confessionals. So that's kind of why I'm always going back and forth on Nelly. I don't care for him to really get that win because he's in shape, but he doesn't exercise any other parts of himself that he would need to win this game. So if Nerys is a challenge beast and really helps him be able to get the strategic part of these challenges and maybe get a couple of daily wins and maybe get some power, like I love seeing people change and grow, and my opinions about them completely change and grow. There's a lot of people that I didn't like at one point, and that they were able to start doing things and they changed the personalities basically and like evolved into a new person, and now I enjoy them. So I would love to have that for Nelson, but he kind of comes back in as same old.
I agree with you. He needs to work on other things. If I'm going to be critical on someone like Anissa because she keeps complaining she can't win the show and she doesn't work on the physicality side of things, then I have to be just as critical on Nelly T for not, reading a book every now and again. I don't know much about.
He won't be there with Corey because I think that sometimes it's better for these duos to be there on their own, so they have to form new relationships and they can't rely on the fact that they have each other. I don't know if he's going to work that well with Fessy because he's learned that Fessy is a little bit two-faced. So maybe this will be an opportunity for him to change up his game a little bit, and I'm willing to watch that. So hopefully he'll do that.
So let's talk about Fessy, since you just name dropped him there as well, Chantele. I know you're probably jumping outside of your seat. You're so excited to see Fessy back for another season. Tell us, what do you think we can expect from Fessy this season?
I'm curious to see how well he'll work with his partner. I don't know who she is, but she seems to be quite fit. I don't know if I want him to be like a dominant duo because I don't think that he is the best person when he's in a strong position. And I would like him to be humbled a little bit.
Drew,
you can go early.
Us about in general, but that's definitely the feedback we're getting. Drew, talk to us about Fessy.
Is he going to be your number one draft pick?
Fessy is going to make it far because of his numbers and his intimidation in size. Basically, that's how he makes it far in every single season that he does, unless he throws squishes Josh's face, which won't happen this season. So hopefully he squishes somebody else's face and gets kicked off, or he slips on a banana peel or something in the finals, or not even make it that far. But because of his numbers, because of his social game, and because of his size and his intimidation factor, it's just inevitable he's going to make it at least the halfway point, it seems, every single season that he's on. I think the biggest question mark is his pairing. His partner, which is Mariah. She is an Instagram model, an influencer. That's all we know. She posts a lot of gym selfies at the gym. So she looks to be in shape. So I want to see how she is in shape, how she matches up with the other contestants, and if Fessy will get frustrated with her. Because to me, there's no way this girl gets on here unless Fessy like shows a picture and gives contact information saying, I want her to be my partner. Please get her to be on the show.
It's like, do we see Fessy this season go into something? Because he's like, I'm hot shit. I keep winning everything. But the only thing that he wins is physical. Like, let's see you do something else that's not physical and then see if you can win that, you know, and then we can reassess.
I wouldn't mind seeing him in the one that Emmanuel and Logan did, where they had to like jump over that thing and hit the bell and go back and forth. I want to see him do something like that, where you have to be agile and you have to be fast and you have to be strong and you have to have endurance.
But the rookie teams, is there anybody in the rookie teams that Drew stands out for you? Anybody that you're excited to see come in? Okay, let's have a chat about that.
Yes. The one team that I think the most capable out of the rookie teams is Olivia from Love Island season 3 and her partner Horatio. For those who don't know who Horatio is, Horatio Gutierrez, he comes from a show. Oh my gosh, I knew I was going to forget this stinking show's name. It's like a Ninja Warrior meets like CrossFit meets you're running and swimming and doing like throwing beanbags to knock over blocks on a table, and you're going up against one-on-one with the person. And you're doing this over and over and over again. He's super fit. He does a ton of Spartan races, death races, as you can see on his shirt right here. I mean, he is fit. He is fast. And to me, when I watch his highlights from his show, I think it's called Exalton on Telemundo or a similar station. It reminded me of when I looked up Turbo for the first time, and he was doing all of his Survivor Turkey challenges. I mean, it's almost like 1-for-1. So I think he's going to be the rookie who is most going to be like acclimated to the challenge and the tasks that are going to be called upon him.
Definitely going to be interesting actually to watch. I didn't know anything about him, so I'm kind of interested in maybe watching whatever this show that he was on. So you made me intrigued by Horatio. I'm not the biggest fan of Olivia personally. She does for me seem a little bit kind of fame thirsty a little bit. But, if she has a good partner and if she decides to play hard and play well, I'm interested to see how they do, just because I've seen, obviously, her season, and I feel like I'm going to go back and check out his season. So, yes, that'll be an interesting rookie pair to look out for.
We need more people to play hard every single episode, so I'm excited about that. So let's get into the theme of it, ride or die. Are you guys happy?
Who's Johnny's partner? Who's Johnny's partner?
Oh, Johnny, and we haven't actually had Johnny be up, so this is Johnny pretty in shape as well. And who's the partner, Drew, for Johnny?
Raven. She's an actress, an Instagram model, and she is partnered with Johnny. Both are in great shape. She looks to have a personality. If she's in shows and actress and has a good following on TikTok, I think she has a good personality at least. And I know Johnny can be messy if left to his own devices. The only worry is that they are a rookie team, and Johnny is one of the smaller fellas inside the house.
Anybody else here from the rookies that we have not spoken about? That
I don't know who else is on, who's left in the rookies, so I guess that means
I think Colleen Schneider is one of the ones that I still see. Drew.
Yeah, she was on The Mole, Germany recently, and she was the titular character of The Mole. So she did not win the series because everybody knew she was the mole by the end of the show, but maybe she can bring that sly lying with her onto the show, and maybe it'll help her get far into the season. I believe her partner is going to be Kim Trunka or Trenka. He was on Prince Charming Germany, which is like a Bachelor type of show, except it's for gay men. And he was Prince Charming looking for his Prince Charming. And they were still together by the time they filmed the finale, the first time in the show's history that the two partners stayed together up until the show's reunion show. He's gorgeous. Ooh. He looks like a Thor almost. He is beautiful.
Are you sweating, Drew?
I mean, just a little bit.
Drew, you've done an amazing job. All right.
Got it? That's everybody there, right?
Third time. Let's go to the theme.
Annalise and Tommy, but we kind of know what to expect from them. I will say that the only thing I kind of wish they did what Chantele had said earlier when we talked way so long ago about Jay and Michelle. I wish they would have split them up, and I wish we would have gotten like a Nam and Michelle redo from Challenge 37 and then had Jay and Annalise together. And then we could have split up the Big Brother numbers. Maybe they would have been protected a little bit more. And Nam would have had a for sure partner that would want to stay in the game and win.
And also with Tommy, I watched him play one of the minis, with Sequester minis, and he was really wishy-washy and he wouldn't make a decision. And he was like, oh, like, I don't know what to do. Like, I can't like make it, like, no matter how Sylvia was on All Stars when she had to give someone the whatchamacallit, sabotage, like that kind of energy with everything and like not wanting to make a decision. So yes, I get it that he's probably going to want to play quite social and want everybody to like him. So I don't really have that much faith that Tommy's going to make any really cutthroat strategic decisions. I think that he's just going to try to like stay as long as he can and not make as many waves as possible, as little waves as possible.
The theme, ride or die, guys. What do we know about it? Do you like this idea and that they're doing this right now? Like for me personally, I'm happy that we're moving away from agents and spies and, you know, all these. I felt like the last couple of seasons have been monotonous and it was almost like one just long saga of the same season. I know that there are still some of the same players on this season, but I'm happy that they're moving on to other themes outside of the spy double agent type of thing that we've been seeing play out on our screens for quite a bit now. How do you both feel about this as we start getting into some of the closing, more wider topics about the season?
I like it. I want to try something new. Like one of the things I've been saying over and over again for the players is that I want to see some growth and something different and then do something differently. And so I'm gonna hold MTV to that standard as well. Like, okay, we've done the spies, lies, and allies, double agents. We've done those missions season after season for many, many episodes. And so let's try something different. And they didn't go back to something old. And so like we were all hoping that maybe they'd do like another Rivals or Exes or whatnot. But I'm happy with them trying a new kind of little, you know, series mini franchise. And so maybe, you know, Ride or Die's season 1 is going to be pretty awesome and pretty epic. And maybe we'll see down the road a season 2.
One thing I will say that I'm very happy about is that they already used allies in last season's title. So it can't be, so they can't use allies, and that drums up like ideas of more spy theme. Ride or Die sounds more like a motorcycle, more like an apocalypse of the Mad Max kind of thing, Ride or Die. But I think it's interesting. The only worry I have is that friendship was such a huge theme last season and it really watered it down. With coming into a season like Ride or Dies, you wonder where is the drama going to be? Because at least with Rivals, when you're paired up with your rival or you're paired up with your ex, and there's that contention, there's a built-in drama that is going to happen with a lot of the pairs. And so will they work together? Will they not work together? With this, you kind of already know the pairs are going to work together. I guess it's just how are they going to get to the end type of situation. Like, is that going to be it? So my worry is, where is the inherent drama going to be coming from?
Location-wise, we're in Argentina for this one. That is also where the Challenge CBS was filmed. We know that there is a few things happening behind the scenes in regards to the Challenge Australia, the Challenge Argentina, and the UK version of the show. Do we think that we're going to see a rinse and repeat of some of the challenges that we see on CBS that they may reuse because it was in the same location, or the following couple of seasons?
I would be really unimpressed if they repeated the same challenges for MTV's season 38 with like CBS challenge. Like I just, that would be so disappointing to me. Like beyond, actually, I'd be more disappointed than I was at the end of All Stars 2.
Drew, what do you think about, you know, the possibility of seeing 6 seasons in Argentina?
So, yeah, the one thing I do want to say is that I'm fine if, say, like all the spin-offs had the same kind of competitions, because because then we get to see a
How you
one
can
for
judge
one.
it.
We get to see
Mhm.
how well each player does. And I think that's the most fair, especially at the end of all the spinoffs. The tournament will be all the winners coming together. But when it comes to the Challenge 38, I want that completely separate, because we're going to be seeing the Challenge USA in the summer. Is probably going to be going for maybe 13 episodes. So 3 months, 3 to 4 months. And then we're going to get right into close in proximity after it wraps up. We're going to get to the Challenge 38. So I do not need to see a lather, rinse, repeat with all the challenges from one season to go directly into the next one. And then we're seeing the same exact challenges. Like, you're not helping your audience enjoy the show. You're just, whoever is the most loyal or is willing to take a leap of faith in different products that you're putting out, you're hindering or punishing them now having to watch double duty of the same, just new faces doing it. So I hope it's completely different.
I think that we did an extremely good job here, guys. We reached 2 hours of talking about a season that is yet to air, but it's been a lot of fun. Thank you for everybody that has been here from minute 1 with us, as we just ramble on about cast, who do we like to see, any thoughts that we have initially about this season. It's been great having you guys here as always. That's it. Thank you so much for being here. Catch you guys next time. Good night. Bye.
And before I end this video, I want to give a special shout out thank you to everyone who supports me over at patreon.com/angelcakevids. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your generosity. And of course, I can't end this video without saying I'll see you next time. Peace.